Today is Prof.Dr. Aydan Ersöz. I'd like to briefly introduce her to you. Professor Ersöz was the head of the English Language Teaching Department, Gazi Faculty of Education in Ankara. She retired in October 2006. She's as the head of the English Language Department. She's currently working as a freelance teacher trainer, and she is the president of İNGET, English Language Teaching Association in Turkey. Her interest areas are teaching English to young learners, materials development, evaluation and adaptation, and teacher training. She takes an active part in the in-service training programs of the Ministry of Education as a trainer and has contributed to a number of projects run by the Ministry for primary, secondary and tertiary levels. She also contributes to the in-service teacher training programs for universities, holds INGET afternoons in many universities, and works as a trainer at the certificate courses offered by the British Council Ankara. Now, after this introduction, now the floor is yours.
Thank you very much.
And our head,
you as well.
yes,
Okay.
she also would like to introduce you.
Okay.
I want to make a few remarks about Aydan Hoca because she is a significant person in my career as well. I had the opportunity to meet her for the first time last year in early September. And she was supposed to make a presentation on class management. And I was expecting a brilliant presentation from her. But what I saw in that small conference room was not a presentation at all. It was a dramatic performance. And rather than what she said, I was captured by how she said what she said. And I received so many meta messages from her presentation, rather than messages, that is, rather than the content of her talk, the way she delivered that content attracted me. And I would like to share some of these meta messages with you, and I want you to pick out some for you after the session. The most important of them was don't neglect the performative side of reality. In her talk, actually, she was acting out what she was teaching, what she was theorizing. So her content somehow was reflected in her practice. This is very, very important because we have to have this message. We have to get this message very early in our career. As professionals in reality, we don't have to. We don't have the luxury to while away our time in class by giving dry theory only. We have to act out. We have to internalize what we preach, what we teach. And the other meta message was, be humble. She was so humble, and she was making jokes. She was making fun of herself. She was giving us autobiographical anecdotes. And in the course of her session, we were possessed actually by her because she filled in the space thoroughly. And at the end of the presentation, we ended up looking at the issue from her own vantage point. This is, something in reality. And another meta message might be, take your profession seriously. When I was introduced to her just before the session, she could hardly speak. She could hardly stand erect because she was heavily sick. Even her voice was gone. But just before the session, something miraculous happened. She transformed into a different person who had nothing to do with the person in the corridor. And just as she said a few minutes ago, she justified the point saying that I feel energized by what I do. That is very important, I guess. And at the end of her session, I said to myself, okay, this should be the epitome of a successful teaching career. Okay, so I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Aydan Hoca for being with us here once more. And this was a late review of her last meta presentation. I'm sure you will have
I don't want to even give this speech now. I just want to enjoy myself. Before I start my speech, I just want to make it as interactive as possible, because I know what it is to be a part of the audience. I'm a professional student, okay? So I really don't want you to go to sleep. I want you to be with me. So try to contribute as much as possible, because the things I'm going to say, believe me, are not something new. You already know them. I'm just here to summarize them for you, okay? Just to polish up whatever you have learned so far. You don't have to know the theory. At least you have had several teachers. You learn from your teachers, right? You learned what a good teacher is, and you learned what a bad teacher is. So there's always a lesson for the ones who are looking for one. I feel so proud of our association. I don't want to start my speech without mentioning it. I'm the president of INGED, and INGED is the only language teachers association in Turkey, but it's an international organization. We are a member of IATEFL and TESOL, and at the same time, CETA. CETA stands for Southeastern European Teachers Associations. So, if you're interested, usually you need to turn these on before you start using them. If you're interested in our association, please visit our website. Most of the parts are for members, so you need a username and a password to get the downloadable activities or newsletter or conference calendar, but still, at least you can learn how to become a member. Our association is only for language teachers and for fourth grade students, year students of ELT departments, okay? So you see the website address over there, and if you want to contact me personally, not with personal issues, you can use my email address. I will somehow, someday, reply, because I have like 6,000 messages in my inbox, and it takes at least half an hour to reply to one, okay? Today, what I was asked to talk about is this topic, classroom interaction. But under this classroom interaction, I was given two subtopics. One, using L1, two, using your teacher voice. So I want to begin with your teacher voice first, okay? And then we will move on to L1. What do you understand from the term teacher voice? What does it mean?
Just like the cartoon, reflects it with a harsh tone, reprimanding the students, etc.
Okay, so I am the one who's misleading, huh? Shame on me. I killed myself, so. Okay, please don't be misled by this harsh cartoon. Yes, I found it because 90% of teachers think that using your teacher voice means this. So, okay, this is one answer. Can I hear what the others think? What is teacher voice? Using our voice, how? Effectively. Right. How can you use your voice effectively? I just came here to sit. Why are you asking me these questions? Yes.
For instance, when we want to give a precise to some things, we can sometimes lower our voice, sometimes
Okay, our colleague says if we want to emphasize something, we may lower our voice or raise our voice. Do you agree with this statement? Yeah? Why do you lower your voice? If you want to emphasize something.
To make our students quiet.
To make our students
Quiet.
quiet. Okay. So if you lower your voice, they will also lower their voice. Keep wishing. Okay. I don't want to shatter your dreams. Yes?
I think that the changing the voice makes students attracted.
Very good. Yes. Like an actor, actress. Can you talk with this dull, monotonous tone in the classroom? No. You're too young, but I hope you remember Mesut Yilmaz. Do you know him? He was the worst politician ever. Because his political speeches were so dull. I mean, he was saying something highly exciting, but he was like, so you didn't get that flame, right? So, as a teacher, our role has changed. We are not teaching anymore because information is everywhere. Students don't need us anymore. Yeah, Google present perfect tense. Oh my God, you will end up with thousands of pages that really don't explain present perfect tense. But still, they have all kinds of information being bombarded. Now they need us as their facilitator, guide, very good. Or, from a more artistic viewpoint,
Teaching is a stage, so.
yes, I do agree with that. You act. You act. When you teach, you act. Right. But, as a muse, you need to inspire people. Right? In order to inspire someone, you need to have that spark. If you don't, you can't excite anyone. Right? I love that double misuse of I am so excited. Students most of the time say that. You know, when they take an exam, they go like, I'm excited. And I say, do you find me excited? Yeah, they love it. And then they never repeat that mistake. Yeah, especially male students, they get so scared. Oh my God, this old lady is making moves on me, huh? Yeah, okay. Oh my God, they're recording me. Just skip that one. Whatever. Okay. Teacher voice is using your voice effectively. Speaking loud, but not wonderful. Loud enough to be anyone should be able to, or could hear you, should hear you in the classroom. You cannot whisper. Okay? You can't. But if you start shouting, what happens? What is the feeling that shouting triggers? Headache. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, but when you shout, are you doing your practicum right now? Some of you guys? I don't know which schools you go, but I have seen schools where teachers go like, not to say the other word, I'm going to say witches. But you know what I mean. Okay. They go like, it's like, I got scared once. I'm a huge person myself, and I'm a professor. No one can beat me, but she was shouting like that. satisfaction. When you go crazy, they will enjoy and say, "Nasıl delirttim kadını?" This is a charismatic move among the students. I bet you have done it. Don't say anything right now in front of your instructors, but I bet you have tried it at least. They love to try. They love to push you. See your boundaries. When are you going to break? Can they break you? Can they play with you? Can they manipulate you? They will. You're so scared now you decided not to become a teacher. I don't worry about it. Believe me, I have been in this job for profession, I should say, more than 30 years now. All students love doing it. I love doing it. I love doing it. I have listed some do's and don'ts for you. And I'm going to leave a copy of this presentation with your instructors, so you can get a copy. Information is to be shared, not to be hidden. So if you want to have a copy, provided that you use it ethically, yes, you can have a copy, okay? Don't steal it. I'll kill you. I'll find you and kill you. But you can always refer to it, you can read it, so you don't have to worry about taking notes, being fast, that kind of thing. So I have the do's, like be audible, be pleasant to listen to. If you're talking, keep the melody of the language. Keep the rhythm of language, okay? You're kind of, I don't know, you're waves of a sea. Be expressive. Express openly. And be lively. Don't look exhausted. In fact, I have the second slide where you're going to see, don't have this hopeless tone. I'm going to teach you something. There's no hope there. You won't learn a word, but God help me. If you get into that mood, they also get it from you. That negativity is a pandemic. Okay? So whatever you do, always send the message, I know you can do it. I believe in you. You're smart people. Human beings are smart. I do respect your cognitive abilities. If they go like, hocam anlamıyorum, like they love doing that. You go like, bottle. Bottle. With the visual, really, everything. Hocam ne demek? Bottle. This is a bottle. Anlamıyorum hocam, Türkçe söyler misiniz? Bottle diyorum bak, vallahi that kind of feeling. It's not because they don't understand, they do. These are clever people. They just remember what I said, you're the toy, they're playing with you. Okay? If you say, bottle, what can I do? I'm in bottle. Look it up when you go home. That's it, then they, see, you win, they lose. Okay, don't shout. If you shout, they shout more. To win the battle or the war. Don't be unpleasantly loud. I know some people have this, sorry for this expression, squeaky voice. Do you know your voice? Do you have a nice voice? Do you every now and then sing in the shower? No? No, you don't? Try it. If it bothers you, that means it's going to bother other people. But if it's okay, if you can live with your voice, that means it's a good voice. Okay? I don't want you to become a musician or anything. I just want you to learn how to use your diaphragm how to breathe, because conserving your voice is very important. You're going to teach like 6 hours a day, 4 or 5 hours a day. If you start early in the morning, shout, last lesson you will be like, yeah, you will lose all of the energy. So you need to learn how to, see, this is why I do stand-up shows. You need to learn how to conserve your voice. The best thing to do is to do it alone. Or if you have a person who really loves you very much, who can bear with you, like your father, mother, or, I don't know, sister, brother, boyfriend, girlfriend, make sure that he or she's not going to break up with you after this practice. Okay? Try it out. See how much you can preserve your voice. And don't sound bored or hopeless. Okay? Or depressed. Someone please ask me a question. Ask me a question which is very common among learners, let's say.
Where are you?
Okay, this is an information question. I just want more like, hocam, inle on arasındaki fark ne? You know, that kind of thing. After having taught prepositions, like for at least 2 hours, a brilliant student will definitely raise his hand, or her hand, but mostly his hand. There's something wrong with boys, I'm sorry. They go like, hocam ben bu in, on anlamadım, aynı mı onlar? Now don't sound depressed. I know it's a horrible feeling. You feel like you have talked to the walls. Okay? Don't go like, when you do this, now you have constructed a huge barrier because you have insulted the student. Believe me, no question is stupid for the person who is asking it. It may sound stupid to you, but still, that person, well, for some reason, really wants to learn. So, answer enthusiastically, right? Of course not. How are they different? Can you help me? Can you help me, please? All together, let's try to give some examples. Include the others. This way you don't have to suffer alone. And one of them, believe me, will turn and say, "Kıt mısın oğlum? Bir saattir anlatıyorum. Ben sana sonra anlatırım, kes." That means you have a good assistant in the crowd. See, you don't have to act like a witch. You can be a fairy. And they will all definitely take that role. Okay? They will scold each other. Kes, konuşma, ne yapıyorsun? Hocam bir şey anlatıyor, duyamıyoruz ya. They will control the class. You're going to love some of your students. Okay. The next says, give your voice quality. Good quality. If you're giving an example, by the way, I hate giving these isolated examples. Honey, Mr. and Mrs. Brown are going to the seaside, you know. By the way, they died. Have you heard that? They were really old. And I don't think it was a traffic accident. It didn't happen on their way to the beach. I think it was just natural death. Yeah, whatever. But when you give an example, don't go like, Mr. and Mrs. Brown are going to the seaside. Tone correctly. Let the students hear the boundaries. Okay? Mr. and Mrs. Brown are going to the sea. said. God knows what she said. But at least I did answer. It was stand up. See? So don't stand in front of the board like a zombie. Open your books. To page 57. Open your books. Don't talk. Don't laugh. Hiç anlamıyorsunuz. En iyisi Türkçe söyleyeyim. Kitaplarınızı açın. See how these two are interrelated? Because if they don't understand, what do? You have found a wonderful excuse to switch to Turkish. But in fact, it's a horrible excuse because you can always do it, demonstrate it. Use your hands, body. You're not there as a fashion model. You are there to inspire them. Language is not only verbal, it is also non-verbal. Sometimes just a look, a smile, a dirty look. This happens between mothers and children. They needed to get the message from the mother. Okay? Mom, can I go out? Okay, I don't want to. I'm going to stay home. Right? So, non-verbal aspect of language is very, very important. Don't neglect that. Okay? Tone. Do you know segmental features? Not for the first year students, but the others. Segmental features. Like stress, rhythm, pitch, tone. Okay, those are also important. If you go like, I bought you a present. Really? There's a wonderful excitement, you're happy. Really? It's definitely, oh my God, now I have to buy you a present. Kind of thing. So you can change the message of the verbal language by using these. Don't neglect them, okay? Give your voice variety. Dramatization. I love dramatization. I love teaching young learners. But recently I have realized that all learners are young learners. Yeah. We used to think that children learn in a different manner, but with my college, university students, I have seen that they are children. They love playing games, they love stories, they love singing songs. Some of them, who do not have very high self-esteem, feel shy. But the others feel so, I don't know, enthusiastic. Hocam, let's sing a song. Okay, the wheels on the bus go round, round, and we start singing, and they love it. Okay? Don't think that your students are going to make fun of you. They will adore you for that. Because they are sick and tired of these serious, stiff, strict teacher models. All the other teachers are like that, believe me. Whew, I have seen a mathematician teaching mathematics a week ago. My God, you should have seen the faces of the kids. Traumatized. And he was explaining something very important on the board, believe me. For himself, I guess. Right. Okay, so I have here. Don't be mean or bossy. Any need to explain that? No. Yes, you are the leader. Yes, you have the control. But you're not the boss. You know what? They are the boss. You are there for them. They are not there for you. Always keep that in mind. Yani, you're not the main actress, not the star. They are the star. Okay? And don't speak too softly. Like terribly sorry that you're there. I know you don't want to be here, but what can I do? I need to get my salary. So I'm here teaching. Don't torture me, please. No. You're not a street beggar. You have the authority. Okay? Right. I have here a summary of whatever I have said, so I'm not going to mention this. By the way, just this one, maintain eye contact. I'm not talking about sustained eye contact. Sustained eye contact is very threatening. You can use it for classroom management. If you start looking at a person just to send a negative message, you should never take your eyes off the student before he or she does. Because this shows obedience. Very much like training a pet, training a dog. You just need to have sustained eye contact. See? This is done for a specific purpose. Otherwise, it's really disturbing. I don't know whether this has happened to you. Last year, I attended a conference, and the speaker, God knows why, she just kept looking into my eyes when she was delivering her speech. And that's so annoying. I wanted to do something else, but I couldn't because she was looking at me. I felt like I'm captured there. Look at someone else, for God's sake, leave me alone, you know. Don't do that. It's really nerve-wracking. But have short eye contact, move. Move. Show me that I know you're there. I respect your presence. Your presence is important for me. Okay? Without disturbing anyone. And this dramatization definitely gives meaning to the lesson. Believe me, they will look forward to your lessons. They will go like, ay, yine İngilizce var, kim bilir neler yapacak. Right? You want to create that enthusiasm on your students. You don't want them to drag their feet to come to your class and say, hey, you don't want that. Okay? Now, using L1, I'm going to give you like 20 seconds for you to look at this cartoon. Can you see it? No? Is it too small? Okay. This student over there says, hocam. And the teacher says, I don't know Turkish, Aydan. Ya ama hocam, I forgot Turkish. Mrs. Tekinoğlu, ya hocam Türkçe söylesem, I don't understand you. İçime ata ata lise hazırlıktan saçlarım beyazladı. Lütfen hocam. Now, what is the message in this cartoon?
Don't ignore students.
Okay, is this a Turkish teacher? Ah, yeah, Mrs. Tekinoğlu. Right, okay. So, does she normally speak Turkish? Normal, under normal circumstances, yes. Why do you think she's pretending now she doesn't understand Turkish? Okay, to force the students to speak in English. How realistic is this? I am 100% for the teacher. As the teacher, you should never switch to L1. But we're going to talk about that. But is it realistic to expect your students to say everything in English? No. I have known students who have peed because the teacher pretended that she didn't understand. The student was trying to Öğretmenim dışarı çıkabilir miyim öğretmenim? Say it in English. Vallahi say it demeyeceğim, yapacağım. Az kaldı. Say it in English. Why are you doing that? Because it's a small child suffering in front of her friends. And of course when she did that, when she peed, she became the clown of the class. And the teacher caused it. Why are you pretending? Why? Understand, but reply in English. Shall we try one? Say something in Turkish to me. Pretend that you're a language learner and you want to really check something with me. Yeah, say something in Turkish.
Hocam sormayı dedim.
Why not? But you need to be quick. In 2 minutes, I want you back, okay? In 2 minutes, I'm counting. Go. So, this way, what you're doing is, Turkish is a language. English is also a language. Turkish is used for communication like any other language is used, so is English. Okay? So now the student is not intimidated, so if she or he has something urgent that he or she wants to say, she can. Okay? And you will always respond in English. 1, you have the mastery of language. You don't need to suffer. 2, by the use of body language, you can always explain the meaning. Right. Okay. Let's move. Now, I want you to, very quickly, the partner sitting next to you, try to find some answers for these questions. When do language teachers switch to Turkish from your own experiences? Why do they do that? And what is the impression, or what are the impressions that they create on the students when they switch to the native language? Yeah, you have like 2 minutes to talk. I think you can work together. You don't have a partner. You don't have a partner. Why don't you work together? You're working in three? That's good. That's good. Bless you. Meanwhile, can you reflect on your behavior? How you're doing it? Are you done? Can you please raise your hand if you're done? Very good. You still want to go on? You're not done? No, you're done? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Are you all ready? Okay. Now, shall we first start with your reflection on your own behavior? How much Turkish did you use? How much in English did you use? I was walking around and I heard several people speaking in Turkish. So let's be honest. Yeah, we are here together. No one else is going to see us if you can beat him and get to tape. So that would be between you and me. So how much Turkish did you use? Can you give me a percentage? Like, yeah.
Half and half.
Half and half? Okay. Now, when did you use English?
Second or first question.
Okay, very good. So they were ready for you. And you know that when I ask you, you're going to give me the answer. So the answer has to be in English, right? So when I ask you, you need to have your ammunition. So what do you think? They switched to Turkish when they are giving an example. See, I'm ready. But the others were in Turkish. Is this natural? That's why it is called native language, mother language. Your students are going to do this. Don't worry about it. Don't go home and cry. In pair work activities and group work, they speak in Turkish. Yeah, what am I going to do? You can't do anything. It's only natural. Okay? But they will focus their attention on the English when it comes to fixing the answers. So you need to be very clever. You need to prepare tasks that require lots of English. They can express a few Turkish words, hadi ya, çabuk olsana, versene, yazsana, niye yazmıyorsun, ne bakıyorsun, you know, kind of thing, but still the answers will be in English. Or if someone says in Turkish, şey diyelim ya, mesela kelime açıklarken diyelim, İngilizce söylesene, şimdi soracak, ne diyeceğiz? Good, see, they're doing it within the groove, so peer learning is taking. If someone doesn't know a vocabulary diyoruz yani teaching vocabulary falan. See, good. Don't get stressed. Walk around when they see you coming. They will pretend. Yes. When you move further away, they will switch back to Turkish. Don't tear yourself apart. Relax. Just go around and don't have a predictable route. Change your route suddenly. Approach this way and then move. The classroom is yours. Move. By the way, please don't wear heels because they make the tick sound, which is nerve-wracking. Okay. Now, when do language teachers switch to Turkish? Let's do some examples.
For classroom management or attention issues.
Very good. Classroom management or attention issues. Can you come up with an example?
For example,
Yeah.
if you say, please listen to me, okay, let's focus on the lesson, and if you say, arkadaşlar, this is something.
Yeah.
Attention.
Do you swear in English? Oh, come on. Yeah, we do.
I do.
Because it is easier to swear in a foreign language. It doesn't have that cultural load. The Turkish one is, oh my God. But efforts are very easy in English because we don't have that culture. Right? That's why nowadays, commonly, the American finger showing is more popular than the Turkish one. You know fingers. I cannot give an example. It's a taboo. Okay? Nowadays, I have seen several people giving each other fingers in the traffic. But the American way, well, the Turkish way requires a lot of effort. actually, but still, because it's easier, it doesn't mean much. Okay? So, the same is true for classroom management. If you say, okay guys, arkadaşlar, the tone is also important, but still, oğlum, shh, kızım. Anger is more expressively reflected. We can do that in English. Why can't we? Isn't English a language? Don't English people get cross with each other? Don't they scold each other? Of course they do. Do they switch to Turkish to do that? No. We can. Now, one issue. When you start with your students, don't forget that everything that you do in the classroom is a big investment. Like working with a bank. Invest, invest, invest. One day, you will get your interest from the bank. First, you will sweat a lot. But in a month's time, when you do something that you share the code, they will immediately understand the message you're sending. Or, first, when you say pair work, they may not understand. Don't switch. Don't say, ikili çalış, hadi yanındaki çalış. Pair work. Invest. You two work together. You two, it's going to take time. But you're teaching.